This video is brought to you by DXO. Look at this picture. The noise reduction is incredible. This is DXO's Deep Prime technology. It's so good at noise reduction. It actually changes the way that I take photos. I'm going to show you how to use Deep Prime, how I use it to improve my photos, but I'm also going to show you some of my favorite features in Photolab 9, along with some just general tips that make my photos better. Let's get into it. Actually, before we do, there's never been a better time to try something like Photolab 9 or other DXO software because they're having a summer sale. From June 15th to July 10th, you can get 20% off if you use my coupon code Chelsea Summer 2026. I'll put the link and the coupon code down in the description below if you want to try it out. I think you're going to like it. Let's start with that Deep Prime noise reduction technology. I'm going to show you how it works on this picture of a red-winged blackbird. Let's zoom in and you can see here, this is a pretty noisy shot. And when you get a lot of noise, it also distorts the color. So when you use Deep Prime, what you're going to do is go over to this panel here and you can see you have your lighting, you have your color, and then you have sharpening, your detail. Turn Deep Prime on and you have several options with Deep Prime, but I'll go into Deep Prime XD3 and you can see the difference here. If you go to this top panel, this is a place where you can compare your before and after. So we'll do that. Once you choose your noise reduction, you can also fine tune the amount that you want with these sliders here. So you have your luminance panel. Let me go back to full screen. You just click here. We have your luminance panel, so you can turn it up or down, giving you more or less noise reduction so you can make it look as natural as you like. You notice that sometimes when you apply noise reduction, the fine details can get a little muddy, so you want to use as little as possible whenever you're using noise reduction. When it's doing the noise reduction, it's also adding sharpening, and you can see here when I toggle this, the before and after, it actually makes the eyes look sharper, the feathers look sharper, and once again, you can fine tune that to your liking. So I'll turn that intensity down just a little bit. One thing I really like about DxO is that they do use AI technology, but they're not taking photographers' pictures to train the models. If you know anything about DxO, you know that they have a lot of sample pictures that they've taken over the years to compare lenses and cameras. They use their whole database of photos to train AI rather than taking pictures from people. So they're ethically sourced AI. This is a really big difference in noise reduction, and this is what I mean when I say it actually changes the way that I take photos, because if I have to take pictures in lower light, I used to just think about just not even doing it because the noise would be so bad. I knew that I wouldn't share the pictures, and now I know that I can recover the noise and keep detail and still share a photo that's taken in lower light than I would have liked. I'm going to take you into another picture. This is an osprey snagging a fish. I'll show you again how to use noise reduction, but then also some other features that I use to make my photos look better. And again, it's good enough where it's going to make it actually look like you're using better gear. Let me show you. I'll zoom way in so you can see the difference before and after. And you can see how much it cleaned up all of the noise in the green background. Green's one of those colors that shows a lot of noise. And one thing I really like about it is that it's not just correcting the noise, all of the colors get funky and it makes it look a lot better. One thing that I'll turn off is chromatic aberration. I don't really need that here. Another thing I like about Photolab 9 are the modules. Whenever you have a picture in Photolab 9, it's going to detect your camera and your lens and automatically fix any imperfections like vignetting. So you can see here, it knows what I'm shooting with and I can download the modules to make corrections. When you first open Photolab 9, you can choose if you want only optical corrections or also adding color corrections. That's up to you. This photo doesn't have any color corrections added, so I'll go into presets in this top right corner, and I'm going to choose just a standard preset. Now I'll go into my light corrections here and make some basic corrections. I like Photolab 9 Smart Lighting. You can choose a spot weighted point and use the tool to select a face or whatever you find important in the frame, and then change the intensity of your lighting. And I'll go to the extreme just so that you can see what the tool does and toggle it on and off. And you can see that it brightens the photo without blowing out highlights, so it looks pretty nice. I'll put down the intensity, and you can use selective tone to change any of those colors and really finely tune your lighting if you like. One of the greatest features in Photolab 9 are the AI subject selection and masking. But before I show you, I want to remind you that all software at DXO is now 20% off for their summer sale, which runs from June 15th to July 10th. You can get 20% off if you use the discount code Chelsea Summer 2026. I'll put my link in the description below and the coupon code, so if you're interested, you can use it. Let's get into AI subject selection and masking. For AI subject selection, go into local adjustments and then select AI mask. You'll get a panel pop up on the bottom right here. And you can either use one of these selection tools, add a selection or subtract a selection, but they also have intelligent ways to select your subject. So I'll go down to animal and you can see that it selects the osprey really nicely. If it hasn't selected it perfectly the way that you want it, you can use the deselection tool. I'm going to remove an area. I don't want these water drops in here. Now that's removed from the mask. You can see the mask in the panel up here, and I'll name that osprey. Now that I'm editing in my mask, I'll make some changes just to the osprey to create some contrast between my foreground and my background. And that's a general tip for you whenever you're editing pictures. You want to create depth, and you can do that in editing by creating two different types of contrast. You probably think of lighting contrast all the time, light and dark lighting. That's what I'll do first. But there's also color contrast. And if you know color theory, you know that you get contrast when you select colors on the opposite end of the color wheel. So the background is green, so I'm going to make the osprey a little bit warm and create some contrast. Let me show you how I'm doing that. I'll go into white balance and just warm it up a little bit. Nothing unnatural, just like a sunset glow. Now I'll go into my mask and I'll select the background. Now I'll name this mask background. I highly recommend naming your masks right away so that you don't forget and get frustrated when you go in to fine-tune things. And the background, I'm going to tint it more green and also a little cooler. And I went a little bit too heavy-handed with the osprey's warmth, and so I'm going to go back into that mask. You select it, you dial that down. Another thing I can do when I'm in my osprey mask, I've already smoothed out the background with all that noise reduction. I can go into just the osprey and up the intensity of the sharpness and make my subject more sharp to the background, and that's also creating some contrast with sharpness. I love contrast. You're just seeing this throughout. That's too much. We need to rein ourselves in. We can't just, you have to have some discernment, you know? Okay, let's look at a before and after. This little slider is always very satisfying. So you can see the before is kind of flat. We have quite a bit of noise. The colors aren't very poppy. Look at that. That looks beautiful. You can go in and fine tune even more because I think I overdid the warmth on the osprey. So go back into the animal and I'll just reduce that a smidge. You can use AI masking to make your photo even more interesting. So let me zoom in on the eye. Eyes are important. I'm in the local adjustments panel again, and now I'll select a brush. I love how Photolab 9 changes the brush size with this slider. It's like so satisfying. I really like that. Thank you for doing that. Who created that? Give them a raise. Okay, now the eye is selected, and I'll go in and I'll up the highlights. Make it pop. Make it pop. Again, let's do a before and an after. Wow. What a difference. You know what I really should have done first, and I'll do it now so I can show you how to do it. If you want to get out of this adjustments panel, click. Now you're in your basic tools. See here, basic tools. Scroll down, and I should have cropped first, but I got too excited about my favorite features. And when I'm doing wildlife, I like to crop right in tight because people love to be close to wildlife. Let's try a super close crop, which we can do now because it's not a noisy photo anymore. Look at that. I'm excited about that. I'm going to share another feature that I really like, and that's their presets. I think that DXO has the best presets, and I'm going to show you them. I will demonstrate on a portrait. Let's get away from the animals. Look at this beautiful picture of Kayla. This time I'm actually gonna crop first, and I had this filter on that creates a ghosting effect, and I know that I just want to crop right into that to make it a little more abstract. I go into my crop tool and I want the aspect ratio to be 4:3. To go to presets, go up to this top right corner, select presets. This is where things get really fun, and I know what you're thinking, like you think you've seen presets, but no, you haven't. I'm going to select Film Pack Color Film. I love Film Pack. That's a whole other video. I took this picture with a vintage disco kind of look in mind, so I think a film look is perfect for this. Let's do the Kodak Elite. And already you're getting this warm, glowy look that goes with the mood of the picture, but let's go in deeper and use some of their other tools to enhance this picture. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is I really love how you get a really big preview of all of the presets so you can clearly see what each picture is going to look like. Ooh, grainy. I like the grain. If I want to customize the grain, I can click grain right here and I can lower the intensity. So I don't quite, and I can make it a little smaller too. Oh, I love the softness of the grain. And then I'm going to go into those adjustments again and use a brush to get her eyes. I'm also using micro contrast to get a little more sharpness in her eye, and I'll go into the sharpness as well. And I'll zoom, I'm going to zoom in more. I got to zoom. Let's look at before and after. So now you still have this soft glowy photo, but I have a little more sharpness in the eye, which I think draws people in a little bit more. I'm making a new mask. I'm partial to the brush. They have all other ways you can select. You can do gradient tools. You can go down to the bottom here and do those intelligent selections if you want to. But I like the fine tuning of a brush. I'll go into the size again. So satisfying. Did you notice it also spins when you do that? Look. Who did that? Who invented this? I'm making a new mask for her face. And I'm selecting this area. If you hover over it, that's one nice thing about the mask. It shows you what will be selected. I want her face to be selected, but not her hand. So I'll use this deselect bar and I'll deselect the hand. You can also use this tool and just delete that part of the mask. And I'm going to just bring up the highlights on her face a bit and add a little bit of micro contrast again, a tiny bit of sharpness. And now I'm going back into my lighting panel and I'm going to brighten up this picture just a little bit with the exposure. Ooh, there's so many things to play with. They have light leaks. I want that. I want a light leak. This is typical in Photolab for me, where I forgot I was filming a video and I'm having fun. I'm gonna do creative vignetting. Yes, more is more. That's what I've always said. Look at the before and after. So we used presets and lighting and textures and light leaks to support the mood of the photo. It sounds like a lot, like you're adding a lot, but that was the intention of the photo, to be old-fashioned and moody and sparkly and glam. And with Photolab 9, I can do that. It's possible, and it's versatile because it also worked really well for my wildlife photos. So if you want to check it out for yourself, play around, have fun, grab a snack, put on some tunes and have fun. And now it's 20% off. So go to the link down in the description below. Use the coupon code Chelsea Summer 2026. That's going to save you money. It's going to let them know I'm doing a good job. Thanks so much for watching. And if you want more tips on how to use Photolab 9 or any of the other DXO suites, let me know in the comments below and I'll help you figure it out.